Level 1, Dimetrodon. Every dinosaur toy box you had as a kid probably included this guy, labeled as a dinosaur. He's not one and never was. Dimetrodon lived around 290 million years ago during the Permian period. That's roughly 40 million years before the first true dinosaur ever walked the earth. It's actually a synapsid, meaning it sits closer to you and your dog on the family tree than to any lizard or crocodile alive today. This tier is the entry point for ancient predator that ruled its patch of the world, and Dimetrodon is the textbook example. The biggest confirmed species, Dimetrodon grandis, grew up to about 3.5 meters long, roughly the length of a small car, and weighed somewhere around 250 kilograms. That sail on its back wasn't just for show. Made of skin stretched over long spines, it likely worked like a solar panel, soaking up morning heat so Dimetrodon could get moving and hunting before its slower, colder-blooded prey could. Some paleontologists think it doubled as a display piece too, for attracting mates or warning off rivals its own size. Fossil evidence even shows bite marks matching Dimetrodon teeth on other Dimetrodon bones, meaning when food ran short, they weren't above eating each other. It ruled the swamps of what's now Texas and Oklahoma, snapping up fish and smaller reptiles with a jaw full of differently shaped teeth, some slicing and some stabbing. It had real predatory chops, it just didn't have the size, competition, or weaponry of what's coming, which is exactly why it's the floor of this list, not the ceiling. Level 2, Utahraptor. Now take that same idea. Apex predator, modest stakes, and hand it a switchblade. The sickle claw on Utahraptor's second toe, the curved killing claw every raptor dinosaur is known for, measured up to 24 centimeters along the curve, about the length of a kitchen knife. This is the tier where solo hunting turns into teamwork. Utahraptor lived around 135 to 125 million years ago in what's now Utah, grew to roughly 6 or 7 meters long, and weighed somewhere around 500 kilograms, closer to a grand piano than the knee-high turkey-sized velociraptor that Hollywood actually based its movie monster on. The real velociraptor was small. Utahraptor is what people picture instead. In 2001, paleontologists uncovered a 9-ton block of sandstone packed with the remains of at least 6 Utahraptors of different ages, all trapped together, strong evidence they hunted in family groups, working as a team to bring down prey many times their own size, like the armored plant-eater Gastonia and large iguanodonts. It was almost certainly feathered too, though not for flying, more like insulation and display. Picture a bear-sized turkey with a blade on each foot. Its legs were thick and built for wrestling and kicking rather than sprinting, meaning it likely grappled prey up close instead of chasing it across open ground. That's the real jump from level 1. Dimetrodon ruled a quiet neighborhood alone. Utahraptor needed a pack, a precision weapon evolved to cripple bigger animals, and real coordination just to survive in a far more competitive world. Level 3, Deinosuchus. This next one didn't need speed, teamwork, or a fancy weapon. It just needed patience. Paleontologists have found actual dinosaur bones, with Deinosuchus bite marks punched straight through them, evidence of an animal that simply waited underwater until dinner walked up for a drink. Deinosuchus lived across North America from about 82 to 73 million years ago, and the largest confirmed individuals reached around 10.6 meters long, roughly the length of a school bus, weighing somewhere between 2,500 and 8,500 kilograms depending on the specimen. That's nearly double the length of the largest crocodile alive today, the saltwater crocodile, which tops out around 6 or 7 meters. Technically, Deinosuchus isn't even a true crocodile. It belongs to a related but separate lineage, but the body plan is unmistakable. Same low ambush posture, same death roll, just scaled up to a size nothing else in its ecosystem could match. Its back was covered in thick, rounded bony plates called osteoderms, essentially built-in armor most land predators of the era couldn't bite through. Its jaws weren't built for slicing like a raptor's. They were built for crushing, thick conical teeth designed to clamp down and hold something twice its size until it simply stopped moving. That's the shift here. Utahraptor won through coordination and a precision blade. Deinosuchus wins through patience, armor, and raw bite force, sitting motionless in murky water until something bigger than itself makes one fatal mistake at the shoreline. Level 4, Titanoboa. Now take the ambush idea and strip away every weapon except body weight. Titanoboa didn't have claws, it didn't have venom. It didn't need either. It grew somewhere between 12 and 14 meters long, that's 42 to 47 feet, and weighed up to roughly 1,135 kilograms, heavier than a small car. It was discovered in a coal mine in Sarachan, Colombia, and lived around 60 million years ago, just a few million years after the asteroid wiped out the dinosaurs in a world so warm that cold-blooded reptiles could grow to sizes that would be biologically impossible in today's cooler climate. Titanoboa killed exactly the way modern constrictors do, wrapping around prey and squeezing until the heart physically can't beat anymore. Except its prey included giant turtles and crocodilian relatives nearly its own size. Picture an anaconda that spent 10 million years at the gym with nothing else to do. A recent fossil find in India, a snake called Vasuki indicus may rival or even edge past Titanoboa in length, so biggest snake ever is currently a closer race than people assume. Either way, what earns this tier a spot above Deinosuchus isn't a sharper weapon, it's that it doesn't need one at all. No armor, no slicing teeth, no gripping claws, just raw mass and crushing pressure from a body thick enough around the middle that a grown adult's arms wouldn't fully close around it. Level 5 Spinosaurus. This is where the list stops being biggest predator in one ecosystem and becomes biggest predatory dinosaur ever confirmed. Spinosaurus's skull alone measured about 1,275 meters long, and the full animal stretched somewhere between 14 and 18 meters, making it longer than Tyrannosaurus rex. Its weight is one of the most argued over numbers in paleontology, with credible estimates ranging anywhere from about 6 to 20 metric tons, partly because the original fossil material was destroyed in a World War II bombing raid and had to be rebuilt from scratch decades later using new specimens found in Morocco. It lived around 95 to 100 million years ago in North Africa, sharing its ecosystem with other giant predators like Carcharodontosaurus, but the two barely competed, because Spinosaurus had gone all in on a completely different lifestyle. In 2020, researchers confirmed it had a tall paddle-shaped tail. Strong evidence it spent much of its life actively swimming rather than stalking on land. Its teeth were cone-shaped and unserrated, built to grip slippery prey like giant fish and sawfish rather than slice through flesh the way a T-Rex's teeth would. The sail on its back, built from spines up to 1.8 meters long, may have helped regulate temperature or simply made it look bigger to rivals underwater. What separates Spinosaurus from Titanoboa isn't just size, it's specialization pushed to the extreme. The single largest predatory dinosaur in its entire era, built almost entirely for a life spent hunting in the water instead of on it. Level 6. Livyatan melvillei. Every predator so far has been a reptile. This one's a mammal, and it has the scariest teeth on the entire list. Livyatan melvillei had teeth up to 36 centimeters long, about 14 inches, the largest biting teeth of any known animal in history. Bigger than anything Tyrannosaurus rex ever grew. It was discovered in 2008 in Peru's Pisco Formation, found by a researcher on a school field trip, and lived around 9 to 10 million years ago. It grew somewhere between 13.5 and 17.5 meters long, about the size of a modern male sperm whale, with a skull alone measuring 3 meters. It belongs to a group scientists call macroraptorial sperm whales, literally. Big robber whales, and here's the key difference from its modern relative. Today's sperm whales mostly suck squid into their mouths and barely use their teeth at all. Livyatan had full functional enamel-coated teeth in both the upper and lower jaw, built specifically to grab and kill large prey, likely including other whales. Researchers believe it hunted in pods, the same way orcas do today, which means this wasn't just a big animal with big teeth, it was a coordinated, warm-blooded, echolocating predator hunting some of the largest animals in its ocean. Its name is a mashup of the Bible's sea monster, Leviathan, and Herman Melville, the author of Moby Dick, fitting for a whale that likely shared its waters, and possibly its prey, with the very next level on this list. Level 7. Megalodon. This is the one that beats everything else on the list on every measure at once. For decades, scientists pictured Megalodon as basically a great white shark scaled up to monstrous size. Brand new research, using rediscovered vertebrae from Denmark and Belgium and published within the last year, suggests that picture was wrong. Megalodon actually had a longer, leaner, more streamlined body closer to a whale shark or a lemon shark than a stocky great white. That new body shape means it could grow even bigger than previously believed. The most recent, most scientifically defensible maximum estimate now sits around 24.43 meters, nearly 80 feet long, with typical adults likely closer to 15 meters. No complete skeleton has ever been found. Sharks are mostly cartilage, which barely fossilizes, so every size estimate comes from teeth and vertebrae alone, which is exactly why the numbers keep getting revised. Megalodon swam in oceans worldwide from roughly 20 million years ago until about 3.6 million years ago, holding the title of ocean apex predator for over 10 times longer than modern humans have existed as a species. Its bite force has been calculated at well over 100,000 newtons, a measurement of force among the strongest of any animal ever recorded, delivered through serrated teeth up to 18 centimeters long. It hunted whales, full-grown adults, not just calves, with a bite strong enough to crush bone on contact. Bigger than Spinosaurus, longer reigning than Livyatan, and only recently proven to be even larger than the record books already had it. That's the ceiling of this entire list, and even that ceiling just moved up. From a 3.5-meter sail-backed loner snapping up fish in a Permian swamp to a shark that may have stretched past 24 meters and ruled every ocean on the planet for millions of years, that's the entire distance this list just covered. What's worth sitting with isn't which of these was the scariest. It's that every single one was just an ordinary animal doing ordinary animal things. Eating, hunting, surviving for long enough, with enough room to grow, that it eventually looked like a monster to whoever showed up looking at the fossils millions of years later. Given enough time, biology doesn't need anything supernatural to build something terrifying. If you want the full deep dive on any one of these, let me know which level, and we'll go down that hole next.